Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and joining me by Zoom today are actors and directors from the upcoming production from Riverside Theatre entitled The Grand Inquisitor. Adam Knight, the executive director of Riverside, is with us. Adam, welcome.
Hi, great to be here.
And it's the original River Dog himself, the founding director of Riverside Theatre, Ron Clark, back as a guest for a guest shot.
Thank you for calling me the original and not the old. But either would be true.
And starring in The Grand Inquisitor is John William Watkins. John, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
John, I'll start with you. Are you from Iowa? I know you went to school in Iowa. Native Iowan, or?
I am. I'm from Muscatine originally, and
Okay.
I worked at. I think I first worked at Riverside in 2004, but then I got my MFA at Iowa.
Riverside Theatre works on the road these days and puts on productions in places where it fits that they happen. And this is a perfect example of this because you're staging it at the University of Iowa Library. It's a piece out of one of the most important literary works perhaps ever, the Brothers Karamazov. And I know it's also in association with the Iowa City Book Festival, right?
Yeah, so Riverside has been without a permanent home for the last 20 or so months. We are moving into a new theater in January, which I'm sure we'll be blasting out soon. But this was a chance to be on location, to do a piece of theater in a way that our audiences aren't used to. The great thing about this exhibit, the Dostoyevsky at 200 exhibit, which is at the U of I Library's main gallery, is it's like an immersive dramaturgical display. You know, what you're seeing is the key points and the key literary pieces by one of the great minds of the canon, and this is a chance to bring to life in a very immediate way one of the great passages in all of literature. We think that it's going to be an opportunity for audiences to come early, to linger after, to really immerse themselves in this, in learning about this great figure. There's also a reading group right now that's on Facebook, 100 Days of Brothers Karamazov, where a bunch of folks are being guided by Professor Anna Barker to read this text. So we're just proud that Riverside is able to take part in this event that's part of this larger book festival and within the City of Literature.
This is a poem, a soliloquy out of the Brothers Karamazov, but obviously to make an entire show out of it, it's extensive. Ron, as I said, you're coming in as a guest director for this. So is this an adaptation that takes the form of a play, or are you just pulling it literally out of the text?
It's an adaptation that was first performed in the early 2000s by, I believe, Peter Brook. Am I right on that, Adam?
Yep.
Yeah. And the adapter's name, Adam, help me out.
Marie-Helene Estienne, who's a frequent collaborator with Peter Brook. She adapted it in French from that and translated it.
Yeah. I knew I would mess up the name, so thank you so much. Yeah, and it's a beautiful adaptation. It gets, I've read the original, which is it's a sort of a chapter in and of itself in Karamazov. And she managed to really get all the essence right there in about a 45-minute monologue. It's quite literary and at the same time very speakable, I think, as from a director and actor's point of view. It's a beautiful storytelling piece of personal struggle and personal conflict, as well as deep wonderful philosophical considerations that the audience is actually confronted with. I wouldn't say asked to consider. In this production, the audience is confronted with those things, and it makes for a very exciting, intimate piece of theater.
It's a meditation on the nature, existence of God, I guess. Is that how we would describe it?
I think that's a fair description for part of it. I also think it has a deep struggle on the part of the Grand Inquisitor, who's a man who's lived in the church literally his whole life. And I'm not giving anything away. We learned this in the first 30 seconds of the play. What does he do as the spokesman for the church at the height of the Spanish Inquisition, when Jesus Christ himself comes back to earth, performs miracles in the city square of Sevilla, Spain, and he is there to determine whether or not this is a heretic. And it's a beautiful, beautiful story of internal conflict. And John, I know you got some things to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you say meditation, I don't think of it as a meditation, although it is what you can take from it. It's a debate. It's an argument on the free will, the free love of Christ's teachings, but then also the danger of that, the danger of our free will, and I mean, it's just an exciting thing to play, and it's been a challenge it's a lot of words, and it's finding the points in there and where the points land, because he will talk and talk and talk, and then there's moments of landing to drive it home, and then he starts a new point. But it's actually in the chapter. The chapter in the book is called The Grand Inquisitor, and it's these two brothers, Ivan and Alyosha. The chapter before that, and Ivan is the intellect, and Alyosha is a novice, and Ivan is trying to is having this debate with this young man who wants to live his life for God, and it's very it's so juicy, and a lot of what he describes in the chapter, because Alyosha says, once Ivan starts describing and telling this story about the Grand Inquisitor, Alyosha says that would never happen. There would never be a man like that. And Alyosha describes perfectly the psychological backstory to this possible human being. And I don't know what else to say right now. It's very exciting. And we have read, I think early on when we were reading it, when we had a week of just reading it and analyzing it between Ron and I, and we had people sitting in here and there just to hear them, gasping or like light bulbs going off. I'm excited to be in a room full of people who are hearing this for the first time.
Ron, you know your way around a monologue or two, having written and performed so many of them. A lot of us fondly remember Small Miracles as just such a wonderful work. What did you learn? What did you learn from this experience that was new to you?
Well, I think the depth of the philosophical challenges and the immediate challenge for power between the person that is widely accepted in Western Christian culture as the ultimate martyr, and a man who has built a career, and I mean a career, by teaching those lessons from Christ, but the inner conflict that he has. So I think what I've learned is that you never stop digging, you never settle for easy answers. You always try to go to the next level, the next level, the next level, peel the onion until you find something that feels like the ultimate truth. I've also learned by watching John just how powerful one actor's obsession can be. When I remember when I was younger, I did a couple of full-length plays, one on Clarence Darrow that comes to mind particularly, that challenged me enormously. And the only thing that I could settle for with myself was that obsession for about the last 3 weeks before you see the audience. You just have to be obsessed. And John embodies that. I'll ask him how he's doing when he shows up for rehearsal in the morning. He said, well, I was up at 6 and working and, doing the play for my cat Otter. And I think, dude, eat breakfast. And so I think that is a valuable lesson, is that it is a healthy obsession for an artist to dig into their work so hard and so deep that the audience appreciation will be profound as a result.
The play is The Grand Inquisitor, opens October 21st, can run for 2 weekends, as we said, at the University of Iowa Main Library in the gallery. Now, admission is free, Adam, but I understand that tickets are going fast.
Yeah, because of the size of the theater and the nature of the show, we're capping the audience every night at 40. Reservations at this point, I would say, are a must. We're already sold out for the first 2 shows, and you can get your tickets at riversidetheatre.org.
All right. Again, it's The Grand Inquisitor, opening October 21st. Want to thank all 3 of you for being with me today. Good luck with it. John, good luck in performing the play for someone other than your cat.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
And again, if you'd like more information or to make your reservation to attend, it's riversidetheatre.org. Gentlemen, thanks again for being with me.
Dennis, it's a pleasure, as always. Thanks.
You can hear The Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:20, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or however you get your podcasts. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.